Quick story time. Not too long ago, I went to the bank and got a cashier's check for literally every dollar that was in my savings account. Then I went home, packed a backpack, flew to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I bought this car. Sight unseen, well, until the moment I got there, from a guy in a parking garage. And that's a pretty good example of why. So a little bit about me. Yeah, I don't know, I've never really considered myself to be much of a car guy, but the first car I ever had was a Mitsubishi Eclipse back in high school. It was, yeah, a manual. As like the most motorsport I've ever been into was rally. I just sort of like discovered it as a kid, I guess, watching TV. And being a kid from the 90s, like I have always, like a lot of people I suppose, been obsessed with the Lancer Evo platform. And yeah, I mean, it just, you know, it took a long time before these were even available in the US or able to, you know, import them here. And by the time they were, I was grown up now and finally like had the money. Yeah, so I pulled the trigger and went and got myself an Evo. All right, you don't want to hear about all that though. Let's go find a nice spot and I can show you and talk to you about the car. Itself is 16 miles long. We're not going all the way up top, all the way to the top today. We'll get to that a little bit later. I'll show you why we're not going all the way to the top today. But yeah, this is honestly such a great driving road, and to have it be blinded by the sun. Got a lad on a bike. Big lad. Don't know him. Sections of the road. They chip sealed this road like 2 years ago, so the surface is not the best and it eats your tires, but sometimes that's just what you got to deal with, you know. There's some good turns linked in here. We're almost to the spot. I always get a little squeal on that corner. Maybe on this one. Well, I was hoping for a bit more of a scenic spot to do the walk around, but there's people in it, so we'll make this work. Here she is, 1998 Mitsubishi Evolution, Lancer Evolution 5 GSR in all its glory, all its straight from Japan glory. Yeah, like I said, I love this car. And for me, It was just sort of like a right place at the right time. Needed a car, went for it. So let's talk about some of the items. First things first, it was less expensive than what you might see a lot of them going for on like Bring a Trailer or something. And that's because cosmetically, there's a lot to be desired with this car. First and foremost, obviously it's missing the front Mitsubishi logo, which is a bit of a bummer, but I'm not that chuffed by it. And then the big one is that the front lip is missing. It did not come with the car when it was imported from Japan. Also, the front right fog headlight does not work. It's blown out. You can kind of tell from this angle, but this side there's like a very slight dent in the bumper here too. You can see the paint's all kind of cracking. And while we're talking about the paint, I mean, you can't super tell in this lighting, but the hood is like a completely different color than the side panels, the fenders. The roof, again, I'm not sure how well you can see it in this lighting, but the roof is just faded like crazy. It's got swirl marks everywhere, just like spots where the paint is completely gone, basically. I mean, little thing, these are kind of browning. They don't have any squish to them anymore. We got just a bunch of these sorts of things all around. But, you know, for me, that, if anything, that was a positive more so than a drawback. Just because it allowed me to get in a car that would otherwise be like extremely expensive for something that was much more in a price range that I felt comfortable with. So I was quite happy about that. And yeah, also the sort of, I don't even know what you call these, rain guards or whatever, coming undone. The wheels also, as they were, have a lot of road or a curb rash. I promise none of that was me. You will be able to believe me when I show you what on these wheels was me. The brake calipers, super faded, definitely need to be redone. Now, like I said, this road goes up for another, we're basically at mile 9, it goes up to mile 16. I don't like going up that way right now because of this. This was my doing. I mean, the car's fast, it's fun to drive, and sometimes, especially when it's a car that's new to you, you just get a little too sendy with it. This is a result of that for me. Slid, smashed it into a curb. Hard enough that it broke the wheel. It definitely knocked a lot of things out of alignment, but luckily it didn't break any of the actual suspension, so that is good. These Dunlop tires, what are they, the Sport Max something 245 40 18s from factory. I'm sure you all know the car came with 17-inch tires or 17-inch wheels and tires, certainly not 245s, and because of that I do get some wheel rub on my mud guards here when I'm like full lockout turn or cornering really aggressively. Doesn't bother me too much, just a thing to note, and I'm sure if I were to like really take a look at the wheel, there's probably some noticeable rub marks. For the current suspension setup, again coming out of Japan, it has some HKS coilovers on the front, which honestly at this point are feeling a bit blown out. And then the rear only has what do you call them, lowering springs. I mean, it's got, I like this fender gap. I would call this appropriate fender gap if you're going to be cruising canyons, if you will, like this. And you can see not much gap there. The lowering springs, super soft, especially when you're driving out here. And if I have any amount of weight in the back, whether it's a person or some luggage, when I'm cornering aggressively, like I get fender rub on the tire. You can hear it in the cockpit. It's pretty bad. And obviously, yeah, like I said, these Brembo calipers, can't tell the way they are now, but yeah. So there you have it. That is the most wonderful car I've ever owned. Quick side, the last car I owned, or I still own it, but the only thing I drove for 6 years before buying this car was a Ford Transit van. So getting into this, despite the fact that it is truly a dream car, has just been so good. Now you're probably wondering, why am I making this video in the first place? My goals for this car, I don't know, are basically just to do like what you might call a realistic, like, I don't even want to call it a build video because it's not going to be built out, but just what is it like as a normal person to have this car, daily drive it, you know, do some modifications, do some upgrades to it, and just give a more realistic idea of what it's like versus, you know, the best example I have is some Adam LZ videos. My immediate plans for it, so things that we can have to look forward to right away, are going to be, I have new wheels and tires on order. Like I said, I do not feel super comfortable driving aggressively up this mountain on this wheel, and I'll be driving to visit my family. I'm going to take this car, it's like a 7-hour drive, so I'm putting new wheels and tires on this before doing that drive next month, so that's something to look forward to. Coilovers are going to be after that. Obviously suspension, wheels, the first two things are going to do. I've got to get, like, the HKS is blown, the lowering springs are too soft. Like, I want some good, consistent, probably BC Racing coilovers on this guy, and just like, then, you know, be able to talk through like, what can you actually feel the difference when you put something like that on your car? How does it feel? How hard is it to do it? Yeah, so those will be the first two things, first two big things, and then I'm definitely going to jump into some power upgrades. Out of the factory, you know, this is more than enough power to like truly get me in trouble. Again, see front left wheel, but I want to make it 400 horsepower. Like, I want to put 400 horsepower in this guy and make it a true like GT3 RS killer, just like a real OEM plus build, real sleeper. I mean, everybody knows the Evos are fast, but yeah, I just want to have a machine out here that on any given day can go toe-to-toe with any other car you're going to see out here. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you are as excited, enjoy, find this to be as beautiful and as fun as I do, and yeah, we'll get this thing rolling. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck out there.